The water was golden that evening, the kind of gold you don't see back home. I sat there with her hand in mine, the hum of the old boat motor behind us, and May's laugh cutting through the air like sunlight. "You saved my life," she said, turning toward me with that half smile she does when she's trying to keep the moment light, but still meaningful. I remember the way her fingers tightened just a little around mine when she said it, like she wanted me to know she meant it. "I'm serious," she added. "I was sinking before you." I smiled back, not sure what to say. Maybe I was sinking too, but I didn't say that out loud. I just leaned closer, pressed my lips to her temple, and let the silence do the talking. The river moved slowly beneath us, and for a second I let myself believe this was it. This was the start of something good. "You like Thailand more now?" she asked, nudging my arm. "It's not the place," I said. "It's who I'm with." She grinned. "Smooth." I laughed. "Hey, it's true." She leaned her head against my shoulder and whispered, "No one ever made me feel like I mattered before." I didn't know what to say to that either. I just held her hand tighter. I never meant to fall in love here. When I landed in Bangkok 8 months ago, I told myself I was here to breathe. I'd been retired 2 years already, divorced 5. I had a house in Arizona that echoed when I walked through it, and I swear, the silence started getting louder. Every day. I wasn't looking for a second chance, I was looking for an escape. I spent the first 2 months drinking Chang beer and nodding politely to bar girls I had no intention of going home with. It was too easy, too fake. I wanted something real, something quiet. And then one morning I walked into a massage shop off Sukhumvit because my back was killing me, and there she was. No makeup, hair in a loose braid, sitting behind the counter reading some old Thai novel. She looked up at me and smiled like she already knew me. "You okay?" she asked. That was the first thing she ever said to me. Not welcome, not hello, but you okay? I didn't answer right away. I just stood there like an idiot and nodded. "Yeah," I finally muttered. "I think so." That first massage turned into a long coffee after. That coffee turned into dinner, and somewhere between bowls of green curry and laughter that didn't feel forced, I found myself leaning in closer. "You have a nice laugh," I said. She rolled her eyes. "I don't," she said. "I sound like a goat." I nearly choked on my drink. "Well, you're my goat now," I said, and she burst into giggles. That became our thing. Every time she laughed too hard, she'd bleat, "Ma," just to mess with me. Now, sitting on that boat watching the sun fall behind the city skyline, I realized how badly I needed her. "May," I said quietly. She looked over. "I don't know how I got lucky enough to find you." She tilted her head. "You came to me," she said. "You're the brave one. You leave your country, your home, your people. That's not easy." "I left a bunch of ghosts," I said. "Maybe," she replied, "but you still left. I think you strong." For a while we just watched the city pass, the temples glowing in the last light, tourists snapping pictures, kids playing near the river edge. "Do you think this could be real?" I asked. "This, us?" She didn't answer right away. She reached up and touched my cheek, gently. "You feel real," she said. "Too real, maybe." We docked not long after. I helped her off the boat, her small hand wrapped around my wrist like she was afraid I'd disappear. She stayed close as we walked through the night market, her other hand casually slipping into mine, her body brushing mine every few steps. "Want mango sticky rice?" she asked. "Only if I can feed it to you dramatically in public," I teased. She giggled again. "Crazy Farang," she said, but didn't let go of my hand. That night, back at my condo, she curled up beside me like she belonged there. "I not go anywhere," she whispered. "You take care of me, I take care of you, okay?" I kissed her forehead. "Okay." I didn't know it then, but that night was the beginning of everything. The best parts. The worst? The parts I still try not to think about when I wake up alone now. But right then I believed every word she said, every touch, every laugh. I believed I was the one who saved her. Truth is, I think I needed saving more. And maybe that's why I missed everything that came after. Because when you think someone is your second chance, you don't look for signs. You just close your eyes, hold tight, and hope you were right. Every morning, without fail, I'd wake up to a text from her. "Good morning, my sleepy buffalo." Or, "Don't forget coffee. Today or you be grumpy, man." I'd grin like a teenager every time. I'm 62, but somehow she made me feel 25. She'd show up around noon with groceries, always carrying more than she should, refusing help and saying, "I strong woman, not princess." I'd try to take the bags anyway. "I didn't marry you for your muscles," I'd joke. "Then, what?" she'd tease. "My cooking?" And she'd wink. Truth is, her cooking was hit or miss. Once she tried making spaghetti and ended up crying because the sauce tasted like chili paste. I ate every bite, told her it was Thai fusion. She beamed like I'd just crowned her chef of the year. When she moved in, it felt natural. One evening we were watching a dumb Korean drama on the couch and I said, "You should just stay." She looked at me like I'd said something dangerous. "Really?" "Yeah," I said. "I like waking up with you around." She didn't say anything right away, just curled up beside me. The next day she brought over a suitcase. "This all I have," she said. "You okay with small woman and small life?" "I'm okay with you," I told her. That was all that mattered to me. She never asked me for things, not money, not gifts, just time. That's what made it feel real. She'd sit beside me while I read the Bangkok Post out loud in my terrible accent. She'd laugh at how I said Thonburi, and I'd laugh harder at her calling the king very cute when baby. I offered to help her open a small spa as C. Few blocks away. Nothing big, just enough to get her off her feet from working too many shifts. "Only if you're sure," she said. "I don't want to be burden." "You're not," I told her. "You've never been." She cried that night, not loud sobs, just quiet tears that slid down her cheek while I held her. "No one ever helped me like this," she whispered. "Not even my family." That was the first time she talked about them, vaguely. Just that they lived far away and didn't approve of her choices. I didn't pry. I figured we all have stuff we don't like to talk about. I had my own. I hadn't spoken to my daughter in 4 years, not since the divorce. I told May that once, late at night, half drunk on rice whiskey. "Maybe she call you again one day," she said. "Maybe," I replied, "but I don't expect it." May took my hand and said, "I not leave. I always here." And she meant it. Even when the spa got busy, she still came home by 8. She never stayed out. She never gave me a reason to wonder. When I was sick with food poisoning, she skipped work and sat beside me the whole time, pressing cold towels on my head and calling me her big baby Farang. "Don't die yet," she joked. "I just move in." "I'll try to hold on," I muttered, and she kissed my forehead. I don't remember the pain. I just remember her hand in mine. My buddies back home weren't buying any of it. "She's too sweet," my friend Hank emailed. "No woman does that without a motive." "You sure she doesn't have another guy?" someone asked on a Zoom call. "Come on," I laughed. "You're just jealous." "We're worried," they said. "Don't get played." I told them they didn't know her, and they didn't. They didn't see the way she looked at me when I told a bad joke. They didn't see her sneak heart-shaped mango slices onto my plate. They didn't hear her whisper, "I love you even when you snore." I started sleeping better, eating better, smiling without needing a reason. My blood pressure dropped. My anxiety went quiet. For the first time in years, I felt like a man again, not just some aging ghost waiting to fade out quietly. And it wasn't because of sex or flattery or some illusion of youth. It was May. It was the way she saw me, or maybe the way I believed she did. We didn't have plans. No big future talks, no timelines. We lived day to day. She'd tell me funny stories from the spa and I'd pretend to understand half the Thai words. She'd dance in the living room to awful pop music and I'd pretend not to record her. "You post this, I kill you," she'd laugh, pointing a spatula at me. "Then you'd miss me," I said. She thought for a second. "Maybe a little bit." We were happy. Simple, stupid happy. I didn't need answers about her past. I didn't care where she came from, who she used to be. All I saw was who she was with me, and who I was with her. That was enough. God help me, that was more than enough. I heard her whispering in the kitchen one night, just past midnight. The fan was running, but her voice still cut through. Hushed. Fast, tense. I pushed the bedroom door open a little. "Everything okay?" She jumped. "Just my friend," she said, covering the phone. "She sad, fighting with husband." I nodded. You never talked to her during the day? She gave me a tight smile. She worked late, like me. I wanted to ask more, but I didn't. Instead, I kissed her on the cheek and went back to bed. Her voice didn't come back for another few minutes, then silence. The next morning, she made me French toast. Extra sugar today, she said, tapping my nose. Why? I asked. You look tired, she replied. Need more sweet. I laughed and let it go. But it happened again. Twice the next week, always the same. Low voice, quick shut-off when I walked in. You don't trust me? She asked when I finally raised an eyebrow. No, I said too fast. It's not that. You think I lie? She added, a bit sharper. May I have friends? She cut in. Same like you have Hank and the other funny old men. I sighed. Okay. I just worry, that's all. Then don't, she said, softer now. I still here, aren't I? I nodded. She leaned in, rested her head on my shoulder. I'm not like other girls. I love boring life, you, me, and mango sticky rice. That made me laugh. It always did. A few days later, I stopped by her spa unannounced. I brought lunch, chicken satay, her favorite. The receptionist looked surprised. She with customer, she said. Maybe you wait? I sat near the front, scrolling my phone. 10 minutes passed. Then I saw a man come out the side door. Mid-30s, wearing a black polo and sunglasses, even indoors. He saw me, froze for half a second, then turned and walked fast toward the exit. Who's that? I asked when she came out. You see him? She asked, blinking fast. He just delivery guy. Bring new oils. Didn't look like a delivery guy. You judge people by sunglasses now? She teased, but her laugh felt thin. You always this suspicious? I held up the lunch bag. Brought you food. Then don't be jealous of chicken satay, she said, giving me a quick kiss. Let's eat. That night I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Something didn't sit right. I wasn't the jealous type. Hell, I'd never had a reason to be. But that guy, his face, the way he left, it wasn't casual. Still, I didn't say anything. The next day she came home later than usual. Busy, she said. So many walk-in customer, back to back. You okay? I asked. I tired. But okay. You sure you don't need help running the place? No, she said quickly. I want to do by myself. You help too much already. She sat down beside me, kicked off her shoes, and laid her head in my lap. You think too much, she whispered. I know your brain. Always worry. Just relax. I stroked her hair. I care about you. I know, she said. I care too. We started talking about marriage one evening while watching a Thai drama. They marry fast, I said, pointing at the screen. One episode in, they're already buying rings. It's just TV, she replied. People real life take time. So how much time do we need? I asked. She didn't answer at first. You want marry me? She asked quietly. If you want it too, I said. She was silent again. Then, I want be stable first, more money, more future. Marriage need planning, not just heart. But our hearts are already there, aren't they? I said. Yes, she replied, but hearts don't pay bills. Later, lying beside, her eye kept playing those words in my head. Marriage need planning, not just heart. I told myself she was being smart, careful, not cold. She'd seen too many men come and go, maybe. She just wanted to be sure. But still, something shifted. I watched her sleep and realized for the first time I didn't fully understand her. I knew how she smiled, how she stirred her coffee, how she hated cockroaches. But I didn't know what her family was like, or what she dreamed about when I wasn't there. I'd never met her friends. I didn't even know if the friend on the phone really existed, but I told myself that was normal. This was cross-cultural. Love wasn't supposed to be easy. I told myself doubt meant I cared, and that trust was a choice, so I chose it, again and again. Even when it started to hurt, she looked like something out of a dream. Simple white dress, no makeup, hair tied back in a loose bun. We stood under a crooked arch of marigolds at a small registry office just outside Bangkok. No guests, no music, just the two of us, the officiant, and a woman from the visa agency acting as witness. You nervous? I whispered. She shook. her head. "Just happy," she said, but her fingers trembled as I slid the ring on. I told myself it was the emotion of it all. I was emotional too. I'd never thought I'd be here again, marrying someone who made me feel like I could start over. "Do you, but the official began, and she looked at me with tears already in her eyes. When she said "I do," her voice cracked. Mine did too. We laughed through it. "You're crying," I said. "No," she sniffled. "Just allergies." After we signed the papers, she pulled me close and whispered, "You my forever now, okay?" I believed her. God help me, I believed her. We celebrated by ourselves at a tiny riverside restaurant. She fed me grilled prawns one by one, laughing every time I made a mess. "Big baby husband," she teased. "Lucky you married Thai woman or you starve." I held her hand across the table. "This doesn't feel real," I said. "It's real," she whispered. "Very real." I watched the way the candlelight flickered in her eyes and thought maybe this was what peace looked like. "Can I post a photo of us?" I asked, pulling out my phone. "This one's beautiful." Her hand shot out faster than I expected. "No," she said. "No posting." I froze. "Why not?" It's complicated," she said, eyes darting around. "Complicated how?" I asked. She looked down at her plate. "You don't understand. I have past." "Okay," I said slowly. "We all have a past." She leaned in. "My ex. Very bad man, dangerous. He still watch online. I post something happy, maybe he find me. Maybe he angry." I sat back. "You never mentioned this before." "Because I don't want talk about him," she said. "I want forget. Start new life with you." My mouth felt dry. "So, no photos at all?" "Please," she said, voice soft now. "Please not now. Just keep between us. Just for a little while." I looked at her face, saw the fear there. Or maybe something else I couldn't name. "Okay," I said, "we'll keep it private." She smiled. "You really protect me. You make me feel safe." She kissed my hand. "You best man I ever know." Later that night, back at the condo, she curled into me, humming some old Thai love song I didn't know. "Do you think we rushed this?" I asked. She went quiet. "You regret already?" "No," I said quickly. "Just wondering." She rolled over to face me. "You think I use you?" "What?" I blinked. "No. Why would you say that?" "Because some Farang always think Thai women want money, not love." "I don't think that," I said. I want to know everything's okay." "You married me," she whispered. "That means something. No one ever do that for me." I wrapped my arms around her and said nothing, but my chest tightened just a little. Over the next few days, she was sweeter than ever. She cooked more, cleaned, called me at lunch, sent selfies, but only to me, never posted anything. When I asked about telling her friends, her family, she said, "Too soon. Let me tell them when right time. You trust." "Me, yes?" "I do," I replied, but something inside me hesitated. Just for a second. I told myself I was being paranoid. This was love. This was commitment. I had no right to question her fear. If her ex was really that bad, then privacy was protection. I was doing the right thing. I was being a good husband. Still at night, when she slept soundly beside me, I stared at the ceiling and wondered what kind of man made her this afraid. I thought about posting a wedding photo anyway, just one, just for my friends back home. But I didn't. I closed. The app, I told them nothing, and when they asked, I said we were just taking things slow, just enjoying it quietly. That was the story I stuck to, even as something small and cold started growing in the pit of my stomach. Something I didn't want to name. I was sitting at the kitchen table, sorting through a stack of folders for her. Visa extension, receipts, rent contracts, bank letters. May had left them all in a mess and she was out picking up supplies for the spa. "Don't forget the utility bill," she'd said. "It under book, maybe." I flipped open a thick novel she barely touched, and there it was, tucked between the pages like it was hiding from me. A thin, faded document with neat Thai script. At first I didn't register what I was looking at. Then I saw her full name printed clearly beside the words, Mother. And just below it, a name I didn't recognize. A boy, 10 years old, birth date, lined up. My stomach dropped. I read it again, slower. May. Mother. A son. My fingers went cold. She came back an hour later, humming like nothing had changed. I got mangoes. You want shake? I held up the paper. What is this? Her smile vanished. Where you find that? In the book, I said. May. Who is this child? She stared at it, then at me. You're not supposed to see. But I did, I said. You have a son? You never told me? Her lips trembled. I was going to, I swear, but you... How old is he? I asked. 10. Where is he? With my mother, in the village. I sank into the chair. All this time, you never mentioned him. We got married, May. I live with you. I sleep beside you. How could you hide a child? She dropped the grocery bag and knelt beside me. Please, listen. I wanted to tell you, many times, but I was afraid. Afraid of what? I asked, my voice rising. That I'd leave. That I couldn't handle it. She nodded. Yes. Many Farang don't want woman with baby. I thought, maybe if you love me first, then later you accept. I pulled my hand away. That's not love. That's a lie. No, she cried. I love you, I do. He not part of this life. I don't bring him here. You never see him. He okay with my mom. That's not the point, I said. You kept a whole human being from me. A son. Your son. He not your problem, she whispered. You are my future. I stood up, pacing. When were you going to tell me? When he turns 18? When he shows up at our door? I was waiting, she said, for right time. There's no right time to hide a child, May. Her eyes welled up. I scared. I thought if I tell you, you leave. Everyone leave. I'm not everyone, I said, quieter now. I was honest with you about everything, my past, my ex, my daughter, even the bad parts. She touched my arm. Please don't go. You are a good man. Best I ever know. You make me feel safe. Then why didn't you trust me with the truth? I asked. She didn't answer, just sat there wiping her cheeks. I wanted to scream. I wanted to walk out, but I didn't. I just stood there staring at the certificate like it was written in some foreign language. What's his name? I asked. Tong Chai, she whispered. He's smart. Very kind. Like you. Does he know about me? I asked. She shook her head. No. My mom tell him I work in Bangkok. That's all. I ran a hand through my hair. So I'm your husband, but I'm not part of your family. You are, she said, but different. This is our life, separate. Please, I try to do good. I stared out the window. The street below looked the same. Motorbikes, street vendors, kids running. But everything inside me was shifting. I need air, I said. She grabbed my wrist. Please, don't leave. I just need to think. Don't think bad, she begged. I not lie to hurt you. I lie because I love. That's not love, May. That's fear. She dropped her gaze. Maybe I don't know how to love right. I walked outside, stood under the sky that suddenly felt too close. I should have felt angry, betrayed. But all I felt was tired. Because she was right. I didn't really know her, not all of her, not the parts that mattered, and yet I still cared. I still wanted to fix it, which scared me even more. After the birth certificate, everything shifted. It wasn't just the silence between us, it was what filled it. I started sending more money to her mother. For Tong Chai's school, she said, he need uniform, need books. Every week there was something. Can you help this month? My mom's sick. Bus ticket more expensive now. I paid because, how could I say no? He was her son. And somehow, by marrying her, I felt responsible. But it didn't stop there. She stopped sharing her bank app with me. I log out by mistake, she said. I fix later. She didn't. I asked again. You don't trust me, she snapped. After everything I tell you? I backed off. I always did. She got quieter, not angry, just distant. She came home later, ate less, slept further from me. Busy day? I'd ask. Very tired, she'd mumble. Too many walk-in. One night I asked if she wanted to take a weekend off, go somewhere quiet. She didn't even look up from her phone. No time. Spa need me. Do I? I said it before I could stop myself. She looked at me like I'd just slapped her. What? You mean? Nothing, I muttered. Forget it. She tossed the phone down. You think I stopped loving you? I don't know, I said honestly. I think something's changed. You change, she said. You become jealous. Suspicious that not love. And hiding things is, I asked. Her voice dropped. Don't start fight, I already have stress. That's when I started watching closer. Not because I wanted to catch her, but because I needed to know I wasn't going crazy. One night I followed her. She told me she was meeting a product rep near Asoka. Said it would only take an hour. I waited 10 minutes after she left, then grabbed my keys. I saw her from across the street, inside a small cafe, not a meeting room, not a business setting. Just a table, 2 cups of coffee and a man. Mid-30s, sharp haircut, confident posture. I stood behind a lamppost and watched. She leaned in close. She touched his wrist once, laughed softly. Her body relaxed in a way it never did around me lately. I stayed just long enough to feel my stomach turn, then walked away before they saw me. She came home late. I was sitting on the couch. How was the rep? I asked. He talked too much, she said, dropping her bag. You eat dinner? No, I said, wasn't hungry. She walked to the fridge. Why you wait up? Just wanted to see you. I tell you I be late. I know. She closed the fridge slowly. Something wrong? Who? Was the man May? Her body froze for a second. What man? At the cafe, I saw you. Her jaw tightened. He's supplier. For face cream, you follow me. I needed to know, I said. Because you won't talk to me. That's not trust, she said coldly. That's control. No, I said. Control is hiding a child. Control is locking me out of finances. I just want honesty. You want to know every second of my life? She shouted. I not prisoner. I work hard. I make my own money. With mine, I said. Don't forget that. She turned away, shaking her head. I thought you different. I thought you honest, I shot back. So that man, supplier, just business. Yes, she yelled. You think I cheat after all I share with you? I don't know what to think, I said, quieter now. Then maybe you don't know me. She stormed into the bedroom and slammed the door. I stood there staring at the empty hallway. My hands were shaking, not from anger, but from fear, because I didn't know what was real anymore, and worse, I didn't know what would happen if I pushed too hard. I was afraid of losing her, but I was more afraid of losing myself. I couldn't eat that night, couldn't sleep either. I just lay there beside her cold back, wondering how love turned into this, into walking on glass, breathing carefully, waiting for permission to ask questions. I told myself it was just a rough patch, that all couples go through it. But deep down I knew something had shifted, and I didn't know how to shift it back. Her phone buzzed at 2:14 a.m. I wasn't sleeping. I hadn't been sleeping much at all. She was turned away from me, her breathing soft, steady. The screen lit up the room just enough to cast a faint glow on the wall. I reached over without thinking, just to silence it. I wasn't snooping. I didn't want to find anything. I just wanted to stop thinking. But there it was, one sentence that shattered whatever I had left inside me. He's still here. I'll try to get the rest by end of month. I sat up straight. My fingers clenched around the phone. I opened the thread. The contact name was just Knock, no picture. But the messages kept coming, scroll after scroll. He doesn't suspect anything. He paid rent again. You want more photos? Attached were shots of our living room, the bed, even me, reading on the balcony. I felt sick. I kept reading. Voice notes, jokes about my snoring, photos of receipts, bank transfers. Keep it going, Knock had written. He's easy. My hands were shaking. I looked at her, still asleep, peaceful, like none of this existed. I wanted to scream, to throw the phone across the room, to wake her with every question I'd been too afraid to ask. Instead, I whispered, May. No. Response. May, louder this time. She stirred, blinked slowly. What? Who's Knock? Her face didn't change, not even a twitch. I held up the phone. Who is he? She sat up slowly, looked at the screen, then back at me. You went through my phone? Answer me, I said, my voice breaking. What is this? She didn't cry. She didn't yell. She didn't say a word. Just stared at me like I was someone she didn't recognize anymore. Is it all fake? I asked. The wedding? The spa? The stories? The love? Still nothing. How long have you been planning this? I asked, louder now. Was it always a game? She looked away. So, it's true. You don't understand, she whispered finally. Then explain it, I begged. To help me understand how I was just some monthly deposit, some joke between you and whoever he is. I needed help, she said. You gave it. That's all. That's all, I repeated. You married me, May. I didn't mean to hurt you, she said. Then why didn't you stop? I asked. Why didn't you tell me the truth before I fell this deep? She stood up. I have to go. You're not even going to talk to me? I stood, blocking the door. We live together. You don't just walk out. She looked past me, eyes hollow. I never asked you to love me. But I did, I said. I still do, and I hate myself for it. She stepped around me, grabbed her purse, slipped on her shoes. May. She paused, hand on the doorknob. Please. I'm sorry, she said, almost like a reflex. I didn't think you'd look. She left. Just like that. No bag, no suitcase. Just disappeared into the night like none of it had ever mattered. I stood there, waiting to hear her footsteps return, the sound of keys turning back in the lock. They never came. I sat down on the couch, phone still in my hand, screen still glowing with her betrayal. He's still here. I stared at those words until the battery died, and then I just sat there in the dark, trying to remember when exactly I stopped being a person and became a target. The worst part wasn't that she lied. It was that somewhere in all of it I still wanted her to turn around, to come back, to say one thing that made it all make sense. But silence was the only answer I got, and maybe the truest one. It's been 7 months since the night she walked out, and not once has she tried to contact me. No message, no call, nothing. I changed my number anyway, closed the joint account, cancelled the spa lease, sold the condo furniture. I packed what little I kept into 2 suitcases and moved south to a quieter town by the sea, the kind of place where no one asks questions and the air doesn't remind me of her. I found a cheap 1-bedroom above a noodle shop. The walls are thin and the bed creaks like hell, but at least I sleep now. Some nights when I'm lying there listening to the waves, I still see her. Not like a memory, more like a shadow I keep trying not to name. You miss her? Hank asked me once over a choppy video call. I don't know, I told him. I miss who I thought she was. She wasn't all lies, that's the part that still messes with me. There were real moments, real laughter. She knew my favorite tea. She held my hand when my blood pressure spiked. She sang to herself while doing dishes. Was that performance too? Or did she slip sometimes, let her guard down and become human again, even if just for a second? I don't think I'll ever know. And I don't need to anymore. I used to replay every word, every look, searching for a sign I missed. Now I just let them pass. I don't need closure from her. I needed it from myself. The truth is, I married a ghost. Not in some romantic metaphor. I mean it plainly. I built a life with someone who didn't really exist, not in the way I believed. She was who I needed her to be, and I was exactly who she needed me to be. We both played parts. The difference is I didn't know I was in a show. That's the hardest part to swallow, not the money, not the lies. It's realizing I was never the main character in my own love story. I was the support role in hers. Some locals still wave when I pass and I nod back. I don't explain why I'm here or where I came from. Just retired, I say. That part's not a lie. I'm done chasing things I don't understand. I spend mornings walking the beach with a cup of too strong coffee, evenings with a cheap paperback and a fan blowing salty air across my neck. It's not exciting, but it's real. No pretending, no guessing. Sometimes when the tide's low, I think about her son. I wonder if he knows. If he ever asked about the foreign man who sent money and smiled in photos he never saw. I hope he's okay. He didn't choose any of this, neither did I. But we both lived in it. We both got used. Maybe one day he'll grow up and do better. Maybe I did too. I'm telling this story because I don't want to carry it anymore. Not because I want pity or revenge or sympathy, just because silence gets heavy after a while. And the truth, when spoken out loud, stops feeling like shame. I came to Thailand looking for peace. I found a mirror. I saw who I was. Lonely, hopeful, desperate to matter again. And someone saw that and used it. But that doesn't make me weak, it makes me human. I wanted love. I got a lesson. And maybe, just maybe, that's what I needed more.